Hello, this is Kuntal Chakraborty, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, GIS Group. I'm just going to give a lecture on an important topic, that is essentials of indicating instruments. So before I start the essential things of indicating instruments, I'm just going to tell the classifications of measuring instruments first. Electrical measuring instruments may be classified into two categories. One is the absolute instrument and second one is the secondary instruments. Now first I am just going to discuss the absolute instruments. These instruments are those which give the value of the electrical quantity to be measured in terms of the constants of the instruments and their deflection only. Means the deflection we are getting due to the quantity is passing through this instrument in terms of constants of these particular instruments. So this kind of instruments is called the absolute instruments, and tangent galvanometer is a example of the absolute instruments. Now the secondary instruments, these instruments have been pre-calibrated by comparison with the absolute instruments, and this kind of instruments basically classified into three categories: indicating instruments, recording instruments, and integrating instruments. Means this kind of instruments basically pre-calibrated with the absolute instruments. And I'm just going to discuss the essential things of indicating instruments in the next slide. In most indicating instruments, three distinct forces are essential for the satisfactory indication of the pointer. These are the deflecting torque, controlling torque, damping torque. Now first I am just going to discuss the deflecting torque. It is the torque which deflects the pointer on a calibrated scale according to electrical quantity passing through the instruments. Suppose electrical quantity, it may be voltage, current is flowing or passing through the instrument. Due to that there will be some deflection into the deflection system, and a pointer that is connected with this deflecting system, that will also move, and there will be some scale, and due to the indication of the pointer we can measure the quantity is passing through it. So this deflecting torque causes the moving system, and hence the pointer attached to it to move from its zero position, and obviously we can measure the quantity that is passing through it. So this is a deflecting torque, and this torque is very important for a indicating instruments. Next is a controlling torque. It controls the movement of the pointer. Controlling forces are required to control the deflection and bring the pointer to zero position when there is no force. Now one important thing is that when the pointer is deflected, then we should have to bring it back in its previous position. It may be in zero position or any other position. That's why we need the controlling torque. So this kind of controlling arrangement may be classified into two categories. One is a spring control and gravity control, and the torque developed in this system is called the controlling torque, and this kind of torque is also called the restoring or balancing torque. First I'm just going to discuss the spring control system by which the controlling torque can be made. Generally a phosphor bronze material is used to form the hairspring, and it has some characteristics. Due to that we actually choose the phosphor bronze. In the next slide I will discuss the characteristics of this phosphor bronze material. So generally phosphor bronze is used, and that is formed in a hairspring manner, and due to deflection spring twisted and produce restoring torque which is directly proportional to the angle of deflection. And due to the deflection, the pointer, the moving system that will deflect, and the spring which is attached with the moving system, due to that the spring also twisted, and due to that there will be some restoring force developed, and due to this restoring force, the controlling torque developed into it, and the pointer may be move it back in its previous position again, or zero position again. So next is a diagram where we are seeing the spring control system. Here this is a deflecting assembly, means that can deflect it. Here we have a spindle and a pointer is connected with that, and the spring is connected in the upper side and lower side. Due to the deflection, the assembly that will move or deflect, the pointer also deflect, and due to this spindle deflection, the pointer that will be, the spring connected with this spindle, that will be also twisted, and there will be some restoring force developed, and due to that there will be some controlling torque developed, and the controlling mechanism that can be done by using this kind of arrangement. And here we have the expression, controlling torque expression, that is Tc is equal to E L0 T to the power Q divided by 12L theta. Here E is the Young modulus, L0 is the width of the spring, T is the thickness of the spring, capital L is the total length of the spring, and theta is the angular deflection. Here E0, L0, E, L0, T, capital L are the constants for this particular spring. So that's why K, that can be written as E, L0, T to the power Q divided by 12L. K is a constant. So now we can replace this K into this equation, then Tc that will be equal to K into theta. So now we can tell that Tc that is proportional to theta, means due to the angular deflection, we will proportionally the controlling torque that is developed. So this is the kind of arrangement by which the control that can be done. Next is a spring control material used. The springs are made of such materials which are non-magnetic, low in resistance, have low temperature coefficient of resistance. Phosphor sponge is that kind of material. That's why we are using this kind of material, and it has this kind of characteristics. And this phosphor sponge is non-magnetic, and it has a low resistance, and also it has a low temperature coefficient. If the temperature rises, if it has a high temperature coefficient, then the resistance that will be increased, and as well as if it has a high resistance, that is the material's resistance, that will also increase. So that's why we have to choose the low resistance material, as well as it should have a low temperature coefficient. So this is the material. And next we are just going to discuss the gravity control. Gravity control is obtained by attaining a small weight to the moving system. It produces a restoring torque when the system is deflected. Now if you see the diagram, then that can be understood very easily. This is the gravity control arrangement. Due to the deflection, the pointer deflected here, and here this weight is acting into the lower side, and this force is basically has two components, that is W cos theta and W sin theta. Due to this W sin theta component, it will move it back to its previous position. So this is very effective for the controlling arrangement, and this force is very important. So here the torque is Tc is equal to WL sin theta. Here W and L is constant. W is controlling weight and L is the length of the pointer. So now Tc is equal to K into sin theta if W into L is equal K. So Tc, which is proportional to sin theta. So this is the gravity control by which we can control the indicating instruments. Next, its advantage: it is very cheap, unaffected by temperature, and it is not subjected to fatigue or distortion. So as I discussed in the spring control arrangement, its temperature that is affected, but here there is no effect in the temperature, as well as like spring, if a high torque is developed, then the spring may be subjected to fatigue and distortion. So here we don't have this kind of problem into the gravity control, so it is not subjected to fatigue or distortion. And it has a disadvantage: the instrument has to be kept vertical, we cannot place it horizontal. So that is the main disadvantage of this kind of gravity control. So we have to place the instrument into the vertical position. So these are the controlling torque, spring control and gravity control. Both are effective and we can use both in any kind of instruments. Next is a damping torque. It is the torque which avoids the vibration of the pointer on a particular range of the scale. A damping force is necessary to bring the pointer to rest quickly. Otherwise, due to inertia of the moving system, the pointer will oscillate about its final deflected position. If the pointer is deflected due to the deflecting torque, at its final position, due to inertia, the pointer that will oscillate into its final positions or vibrate into its final positions. And we have, if you want to measure it quickly, so it is not possible because of this vibration or oscillation. So our aim is to bring the pointer to rest it quickly, so that we can measure the instrument's reading very quickly. So we need a damping arrangement so that the damping force that can be bring the pointer to rest quickly. So we have three kind of arrangement. One is a air friction damping, fluid friction damping and eddy current damping. First I am just going to discuss the air friction damping. This is the air friction damping arrangement, where we have a air chamber and a light vane like aluminum is connected here, vane or disc is connected here, and the pointer is connected with this arrangement. And due to the movement of the pointer at its final position, due to this pressure developed into the air chamber, the vane actually attached with the system that will not move into its final positions, and it will basically restrict the vibration. So this kind of arrangement is very effective, and we used it in our any kind of indicating systems or indicating instruments. So this kind of arrangement we can use. Next one is a fluid friction damping. This is the side, top view, and this one is the side view. In a chamber, we have some oil or liquids, and this kind of arrangement we actually developed, and the fluid produces the necessary opposing or damping force to the vane, so that at its final position the vibration or oscillation can be stopped. And this kind of arrangement that can be done into an instruments, but there should be a condition, means the vane should be completely submerged to the oil. And it has a disadvantage also. It can only be used if it is placed in vertical position, otherwise it will not work. If you place it horizontally, then obviously we will not get the correct result, we will obviously get the error result. So we have to place it into the vertical position. So this is also effective like air damping system. Now next is the eddy current damping. Uses a conducting material which moves in a magnetic field so as to cut through the lines of forces this setting off the eddy current. So force always exists between the eddy current and magnetic field, which is always opposite to the direction of motion. Now if you see the diagram, in this diagram we have a permanent magnet and a disc conducting material is attached with the moving system. If it is moving, then the flux that will be cut and due to that, this settings up the eddy current, and force always exists between the eddy current and magnetic field, which is always opposite to the direction of the motion. That's why this is very much effective, and that's why this kind of arrangement, eddy current damping arrangement, is used in different instruments like PMMC, hot wire, or induction type instruments. So I already discussed essential things of indicating instruments, 3 forces or torque developed in the indicating instruments. First one is the damping torque, second one is the controlling torque, and third one is the eddy current damping. And 3 things are very essential for the indicating instruments. And by using this kind of essential things, we can develop different types of instruments. And this kind of indicating instruments are like moving iron instruments, permanent magnet moving coil instruments, that is PMMC type instruments, dynamometer type instruments, hot wire type instruments, induction type instruments, electrostatic type instruments, rectifier type instruments. So these kind of instruments that can be developed by using these essential things. Whenever we will try to develop this kind of instruments, we have to maintain these kinds of essential things to develop this kind of instruments. Thank you.